Alright, hey, Postal 268 here. This video is going to be a little different from my other videos, where I'm going to give you some tips on I guess, how to just power level this game. First thing is you're going to want to unlock all the weapons. The only way to do this is to beat the game once. So, don't worry about, okay, when I first started the game, I only wanted to play on this difficulty, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna get good, and I'm gonna beat the game on the highest difficulty available. I didn't even realize that there was a difficulty above that, which doesn't unlock until you beat the game. On top of that, if you read this, it tells you, Aether gain increased by 15%. That is true, but you are not gonna make more money playing on a higher difficulty if you don't win. So, to start off, don't be worried. Pick the lowest difficulty. And just farm, get good at beating that one. And farm it over and over, because you're going to make the most money if you actually complete the game all the way through. Versus having that 15% or even, 20% increase on your money if you aren't beating the game. So, yeah, this wants you to believe that the higher the difficulty, the more money you make. But really, the lower the difficulty, the more money you make. Because on top of that, each time you finish a section, there is an option for upgrades. If you've gotten pretty comfortable with what you're doing, you won't need as many upgrades to win. So you can take the little extra money bonuses more often on the lower difficulty. So the first thing I suggest you do, pick the lowest difficulty and work on beating the game as far as you can. Now, obviously, you're not just going to beat it your first run through, but as you progress, you will slowly unlock more and more weapons. These being the last ones. You kind of have to beat the game to get these. These are interesting, I'll come back to them, but every weapon will have its own set of combinations, and honestly, for me, because I have shoulder issues in my left shoulder, I found it was actually easier to play with one sword than two. And these little things will beef up your main weapon enough where it doesn't become that big of a problem. But what you should do is try out each weapon before buying any upgrades at all. Look at what they do. I would suggest getting online and seeing their stats fully upgraded before you fully decide which one that you think you're going to want to grind with for a little bit. It does not take that long, but figure out which ones you like. Like, starting off, I liked this one actually the most, but I found later on that I was doing really good with this one. So, think a little bit before you start buying upgrades. I'd upgrade them, just don't go really past 5 upgrade, the little V, if you don't know Roman numerals. But, it's really cheap to upgrade them to the V, the 5, and, get a feel for what you're good with. Once you get an idea of what you seem to be doing the best with, I would suggest just sticking with that one. And you can fully upgrade that one if you want, but what I would suggest, and this is only if you're going for achievement completion, pick what you want the most of, and then just grind the game up to the 50,000 that you need, and then upgrade the rest of them. And then after that, play around with different ideas and such, but that seems to be the best strategy for not only getting better at the game, but for getting everything as quickly as possible, is just grinding the ever-living crap out of relaxed. By the time I started playing Nightmare, I was actually able to beat Nightmare, and I didn't really touch it for the longest time. I played, ever-living crap out of easy, and then I upgraded to see if I could beat that, and then I upgraded to see if I could beat that, and I did beat these pretty easily. So then I upgraded to Nightmare, and it only took me less than 5 tries, my first real, getting on Nightmare, to do it, because I've been playing so much at easy. And I know that doesn't seem to make sense. Now, I did have an easier time with easy, because when I first started playing the game, I tried to play on the highest difficulty. And so for the first, I would say, 4 hours of the game, I played on that. And so by the time I went to easy, easy was super easy. But if you want to waste 4 hours without making any money, and just so that you can be really good at easy, go ahead. But I suggest just play easy. Don't worry about it. Now, there's all kinds of different combinations that you can boost onto each other to make things really broken. Like if you've seen my one sword style trapper, I'm taking this, first off I get ×2 supercharge, which is really handy, but this drops 3 void traps, and this drops 3 void traps, so I have 6 void traps. This other stuff, I didn't really use it too much, like the Call of Oblivion. That's just like if I really need it in emergency. I try not to get that low on health. This 20 seconds of striking an enemy, that is handy if you want to throw an enemy into a trap, but that's pretty much it. I never used it a whole lot other than to try to force enemies into my traps. Now the reason you want 6 traps, because they don't really do anything to start off with, is once you upgrade them, they'll do 20 damage a trap, but on top of that, breaking an enemy deals additional 5 damage just from the base of, the base abilities of the sword once fully upgraded. But there's other stuff you can work together, like this one right here. This will boost my other weapon by plus 30 guard damage. So if I were to just grab this puppy that has the highest guard damage, now I'm doing 20 plus 30% guard damage. And if you've seen my other video, this like 2 hits and everything's guard is broken. But it does hardly any health damage. And you'll need your other mods as you go to kind of make up for that. But it's more than just hacking and slashing. You've got to look at what each weapon does and think about the strategy that you really want to take with that. But highly suggest farm easy. Just do it. Like don't feel like you're being a baby. Just farm easy. These things are really interesting. This really has nothing to do with the video, but I kind of wanted to talk about it. When I first unlocked these, because of the awkward way that they're angled, I really didn't want to touch them. But their base abilities are really kind of broken. So if you alternate your attacks, they each do an additional 50% damage. This one to guard and this one to health, which when you look at them is actually really good, because then you can think this one's doing 15 damage and this one's doing 9 health. So I'm thinking about making a video using these, because yeah, they're really awkward to try to block with, but that's the thing. In the beginning, I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to stacking abilities of different weapons together, but these were designed to be stacked together. They were designed for this. Not to mention, finishing a combo with this off the bat does plus 5 health damage. Now, like, this one right here, I didn't think anything of the axe to start with, because it's so slow. I was like, God, this is terrible. But big swings do plus 25 health and guard damage, and this health damage is actually one of the highest in the game. I'm pretty sure it's the highest. 6, 8, 6, 5, 8. Okay, this one's a little better. 7. So wow, I didn't notice this one does decent health damage. But yeah, either way, really nice. Plus you get the finishing combo. So if you're doing this one one-handed, and then say you grab this, like my other video. So now it does 30% more guard damage just because I'm holding this. But look, 30% plus 25% if I'm doing big swings, and I get the plus 5 health damage bonus with plus 5 health for finishing the combo. I'm definitely gonna finish the combo with this, since it's the only weapon I've got. I mean, this technically is a weapon, but I don't really use it. Now, of course, my combo's low. I gotta upgrade that as I go through, but if you keep the combo low, you're definitely always gonna finish the combo. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is just my general, like, there's not a lot to the game itself. It's a very simple game, but there's quite a bit you can play around with, even with this small selection of stuff. But again, if you want to have the ability to have all the upgraded weapons as quickly as possible so that you can play around with everything and get the most out of the game, grind easy. Just do it. Just grind it. Just grind easy until you've got everything upgraded. And don't really bother upgrading everything until you hit 50,000 if you're going for the achievement. If you're not going for the achievement, don't worry about it. Just upgrade everything. But I highly suggest doing that first, because it took me forever to get that achievement, because I kept buying all the weapons up to the max, and I wasn't using them. And so I was like, why am I wasting my time with this? Like, so yeah, this has just been my random spiel on stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not like I'm an expert or anything, but also there's not a ton to this game. So it's been Postal 268. Y'all have a nice day.